Silent Storm is a real anomaly of a game. It's a turn squad-based RTS with RPG elements in the same vein as Wasteland, as well as being set in World War II with destructible environments. And amazingly, it doesn't suck. It's actually a really compelling game. Now the story has you take command of a squad of highly specialized and efficient soldiers as either the Axis or Allies. Now being a European game, prepare your senses to be attacked by hilarious accents, bad dialogue, and a pretty silly story. The game has you travel to different regions of the war in Europe, usually having you a sort of factory or a well-guarded house, but not to turn the tide of the war, oh no, you're to find various clues hidden around the environments that shed light on a very odd conspiracy. At first it seems like it's the other side playing dirty with some wacky stuff, and it's pretty straightforward. Then it turns out you're up against a secretive organization that deploys laser guns and power armor ripped straight from Fallout. Now what the hell is going on? Seems like I've spoiled the game, but not really. The game is all about collecting clues within the levels. The more you collect, the more you know. This unlocks new levels to battle through and rinse and repeat. What I really like is how you don't need to complete all the levels to see the credits roll. Instead, checking off all the objectives in each level will give you access to the final mission in no time. As long as you're not in combat, you can leave at any time. Be it that the level is crazy hard or you've destroyed the environment, thus bearing all the clues and evidence. Yes, it has destructible environments, which for 2003 were incredibly impressive. Toss explosives around and watch the ceiling and walls and even the floor fall apart. Great if you're trying to deny your enemies cover, but a huge pain later on when you try moving around. That's all secondary stuff in Silent Storm. It's all about the combat and the different strategies you can operate. You can control up to 6 units at once. Now, if one of your soldiers gets knocked unconscious or flat out killed, you can still proceed and keep the pressure on, but you'll lose their skills and attributes that you can upgrade to make your own personalized badass. But if you go down, it's back to a safe state, so I think it's important to understand the combat. In short, it's a far looser version of Fallout's and Wasteland's battle system. Each side has to play their turn before the other, and each unit has their own action points to use in the basic stuff, like attacking, moving, and reloading. Thankfully, they've cut some of the more irritating actions that could screw you over in Fallout. Changing weapons and accessing inventory don't consume any AP, and switching poses and changing directions can be upgraded to be free of AP consumption. The cool thing is though, is that you don't have to use all your AP in your turn. If you end your turn early, and a character can potentially interrupt or ambush an enemy if they have any remaining points. Each unit in the game fits into one of 6 classes. The soldier, the scout, the sniper, the grenadier, the medic, and the engineer. It's up to you with what kind of squad you make. A mishmash of classes, or a very direct group. You can guess their purposes. The scout scouts, the medic plays doctor, and the soldier does the soldiering. While they control identically, it's best to know what you're equipping them with, like, giving your best rifle to the sniper. You restore your team's health, restock equipment, and get new members at the HQ you can access while not on mission. You're probably wondering whether it's one of those games where it's really hard to find decent equipment, aka Diablo. But no, you find out very early on that the game's armory or stash room will nearly always have the best stuff available at all times. Yeah, sure, you're not going to find any laser guns, but I think a metric ton of explosives makes up for that, until they start storing laser guns, of course. What you can equip is very linear, no armor, gadgets, or even secondary items. It's either some form of weaponry or a healing item, which you won't be using too often since going back to the HQ will immediately fix you and your team up. Though you do get a great variety of weapons across World War II, a lot are made redundant since you're constantly getting access to better stuff. But is the combat fun? Well, yeah, the enemy AI is really good. They'll employ flanking and advancing maneuvers to take you down, and they'll often try ambushing you in close quarters, which can be pretty frustrating and kind of stupid. Also, manipulating the environment through its destructibility and surprisingly good bullet and body physics is very compelling and gives off a great level of replayability. For example, you can shoot through light surfaces, though it may ricochet off the environment, hitting someone else. But it gives you even more forms of tactical engagements when you can shoot through a wall or a door, killing everything in your path. There's some really nice UI features, like how you can raise and lower the levels and structures to give you a very clear layer of the environment. They've also added some skills and attributes you can upgrade for each character, but they didn't make much of a difference whether or not invested into them, like weapon familiarization. Completely worthless unless you play in the highest difficulty. Unfortunately, to Silent Storm's complete detriment, it's a very easy game, and it's thanks to its save system. Because you'll spend most of your time in combat, they've allowed you to save manually and quick save and quick load at will. This nails a lot of frustration, but it utterly breaks any skill in combat. Because everyone's attack is based on chance that increases and decreases with the percentage, you can break the combat's challenge by constantly quick saving and quick loading until the computerized luck swings away with your attack on enemy's attack. So it says you only have a 10% chance to hit someone, but it might as well be 100% since you can save scum until you land your target. Take this with how you can employ the same thing with an enemy so they will always miss you. Basically, you can fight and kill dozens of enemies and never miss or get hit. I understand this isn't some sort of secret trick or exploit hidden within the game. No, it's really easy to do and can be done immediately. This makes a lot of specialized characters kind of useless. Who cares about machine guns when a rifle can hit harder and is far more accurate? And if they're bad at using one, who cares, since again you can manipulate the dice roll. There is still challenge, especially when they introduce mechs and laser rifles, which comes completely out of left field. And again, the AI is quite devious and will give you a run for your money. But I guess you could fix this problem via the good old honor system, but hey, chivalry is dead, right? Other problems would be how insanely powerful grenades are, since you can just run up to a group of enemies and blow them to pieces, relying heavily on save scumming, of course. And it can be an ugly affair moving everyone in a single group. I guess the largest and most legitimate criticism I can nail at this game is how long the turns are for the enemies. Hello Fallout, though it's far less tedious since you have more to do in your own turns. I'm not gonna lie, this was a real hidden gem of a game. I'm surprised by how well it holds up, and though it is very silly, it has an unmistakable character about it that keeps the title very memorable. Oh, by the way, put all the graphic options on low so to stop it crashing. Now I left that part at the end so as to reward you for watching this review. Thank you.